Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I am Morris Merriweather, the professor of Straight Talk in room 503 and the author of Enough is Enough. Public education has spiraled out of control. I'm here to bring the message truth to you again this week. Text a friend, call a friend, tweet a friend, and tell them that Professor Merriweather is back in class with the message truth. And while you're at it, you can tell them the topic for this week is black and white. Again, the topic this week is black and white. If you don't have the nerves for the truth, I suggest you dismiss yourself in this class, because this professor is going to bring you the unadulterated raw truth this week. Stay with me. Let's get underway. 2 weeks ago, we spent time talking about the Cavaliers and the Warriors. That's all you could hear people talking about. They couldn't wait till the next game. Millions and millions of people showed up at the games. Tickets running $3,000 to $4,000 in some cases. And one young lady was on TV bragging that she paid $4,000 to come. But ladies and gentlemen, Sunday morning in all of our church, black and white, you can bring Greyhound buses in after church has started and be able to see them and have room for others. Our priorities off as a nation. Our priorities off as individuals. We talked about the Cavaliers and the Warriors. Not one of us who watched the game profit from the game except have a little relaxation, a little entertainment. The real money went to the players, to the owners, the managers, and the CEOs of different companies, and the media. But yet, ladies and gentlemen, stop and think. If we have spent that much time, that much money, and the media been involved in public education would fare well as well. But ladies and gentlemen, our priorities are. We got to do something, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this session is going to also deal with lies and truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been lied to. When I say we, we're talking to the people of color. They began to lie to us years and years ago, to our ancestors. They promised them 40 acres and a mule. Our ancestors died and never received not 1 acre, let alone 40. And sure in the hell didn't get a mule. And now today they haven't fulfilled that promise. I know I don't have 40 acres, and I sure in the hell don't have a mule. I got a few horses out there in my vehicle, in the motor, but that's about it. But ladies and gentlemen, promises. We got to be aware of those people who are making all kinds of promise to us. Lies may be easy to tell and hear, but they don't make the truth disappear. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why that I can bring to you the unadulterated truth, because it hasn't disappeared. We have fallen in love with the wrong people, black and white. And it's time now that we wake up. You say you have some education. Then why don't the hell you act like you educated and you got good sense? Don't be ignorant all your life. See, ignorant doesn't come in black and white. Ignorant just ignorant. And that's the way it is. But ladies and gentlemen, in my hometown, in your hometown as well, many people of color are leaving our black sanctuaries. And we're going, and some of them are justifiable. Don't get me wrong. Let's just tell the truth. Some of them justifiable. We got to do better in terms of how we conduct the Lord's business. And we have some of our people in our churches that are running away members for various reasons. And the pastor don't want to deal with it because it's easy not to deal with it than to deal with it. But I have to say one thing at the church that I attend each Sunday. I was so happy to hear my pastor say that as much as I can get people to come in, some of you are running them off. But if I find out that you're running them off, you're going to be running off with them. So ladies and gentlemen, there are some pastors who deal with, but majority of them are not. They're trying to take it easy because I'm making a good salary. I'm living in a neighborhood where people think I'm something. I'm driving a nice car. You see my watch and my ring? You see my nice Stacey Adams shoes and my nice clothes? I don't want to lose it. It ain't about God. It's about them. In some cases, we have got some pastors serious about God's business, and I appreciate that. But then I have to tell the message true. We got some whites and black pastors, evangelists, elders, reverends that are not about God's business. But don't worry about it. The word is in the Bible, said don't worry about it. Let them grow up together. The Lord says that I'll do the, let the wheat and the tare grow together. He'll do the separate. So Meriwether don't need to separate that. I just need to make sure that I get to see my Lord and my Maker. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time we wake up and quit electing people that don't have us on their agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, with the Bill Cosby trial this week, it was a hung jury. Millions of dollars, and the news media covered a whole lot of the time. And ladies and gentlemen, they paraded. But this trial was about black and white. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady, and it was just on the news shortly before this telecast, she knew when he invited her, according to my network that I was looking at, says she came wearing perfume and incense. So she had an idea of what was going on. She didn't care about the color of his skin. She knew that he had things that was green, almighty green dollars. So ladies and gentlemen, and then she decided that she's going to go another way. And ladies and gentlemen, that young prosecutor says he's going to try Bill Cosby again. I don't condone what Bill Cosby. I lost respect for him after this all came out. And he admitted to drugging ladies. I'm opposed to that. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a real problem when the officer who shot the man in Philadelphia in front of his girlfriend and her child, after he had asked for identification, and when he reached for it, he got scared and he fired off the rounds and killed him. And then said he was fearful for his life. But yet, we don't hear anybody, pastors or no one, talking about we need to do something because this is unjust. But Bill Cosby, they're talking about, yeah, he needs to be retried. He needs to be put away. And also you need to be put away for the things that you put up with in your communities. If we're going to start talking about putting people away, start taking a look at yourself. What are you doing to help public education? You say you love children. What are you doing? This week in my hometown, the city stopped paying the $12 million that it has been paying the county government for public education for years because they got it a little tight inside. Well, what can we get? The first thing come to mind, public education. Hell, get that money. So they quit. Reverend Baxter and I attended the hearing in Chancery Court in my hometown of Madison County. When I looked around, I said to Reverend Baxter, where are the rest of the preachers? You're the only one here. There was no white preachers there, and Reverend Baxter was the only black preacher. I told you this session was in black and white. If you don't have the stomach for the truth, hey, you can just get up and leave class. You're gonna get the grade you deserve anyway, so don't worry about it. But I'm going to continue as your professor bringing you the truth. But ladies and gentlemen, where are the faith-based community people? We'll find them on Sunday morning. I see them on Wednesday night. But I don't know what they do on Monday and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, Saturday. But ladies and gentlemen, something has got to be done. But I believe in accountability. I'm going to hold the faith-based community, sororities, fraternities, civil rights organization. I'm going to hold you accountable. If I have to hold you all by myself, I'm going to hold you. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the truth must be told. The truth must be told. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that happened in my hometown. The black leadership, the so-called clergies, sororities, fraternity, and our civil rights organization, our 100 black men, we have sit here and we have allowed in my hometown, and they're doing the same thing in your hometown, allow the white community to close nearly all of the schools in my hometown. Let me do this real quick and try to get you out of here real quick. They first closed Washington Douglas in the black neighborhood. Reopened it and let about 20 or 30 Head Start kids come in. No whites. Then they closed JCM, one of the historical black high schools in our city. There was an outburst for some people in the community. The religious community, black and white, didn't really get involved. They said they don't have anything to do with my church. And so they didn't come out. But we had some that was protesting and walking. You said, Brother Meriwether, did you attend in the protest? Absolutely not. They was closing that school 15 years ago when Meriwether was trying to say to the community, it's time we watch those guys and what they're doing and hold them accountable. When you was asking them to build a stadium for JCM and they wouldn't build that. You ought to have enough sense to when you drove down the street and look at that building deteriorating and the winter tiles not being replaced, the flagpole not being painted, the grass not being cut, the hiring of more white teachers than black teachers. And are you that stupid that you couldn't see them closing, but you want me to get a sign and come out and join you, save our schools? Hell, I'm not doing that. I may look like I'm ignorant, but I'm a smart man. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to do something different. But I looked around that room and I didn't see any of our people in that room. There was a few people. I think we had maybe one member of the school board who was minority. And we had maybe 2 or 3 county commissioners. But I looked around and said, where in the hell are the people? I'm with Donald Trump. What the hell we got to lose? Our schools are bad. Our communities are bad. And ladies and gentlemen, we're fleeing. But yet we've got an election year coming up. And ladies and gentlemen, in my hometown, the good old boys that are already set the stage for the next mayor for the next 10, 15 years. They have 2 African Americans who have expressed an interest in running because they went to them and talked to them. And then they know the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. They have 1 Republican who wants to be mayor. Then they got another guy whose father was mayor. And then they have 2 brothers that they have put in the mix. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. If you put 2 minorities in a community where we only make up 47%, and then you put a white candidate in there that is liked by a lot of the people in the black community and run a Republican, the white and the 2 blacks will split the black vote and the white Republican will walk dead up the middle. So I'm not that crazy that I can't figure that out. But then we got people who got PhD degrees, college educated, wearing those nice suits in the pulpit, and you hadn't figured that out? Ladies and gentlemen, how embarrassing would it be if one of the ministers this coming Sunday, one of the members asked them, Pastor, can you tell me what's going on with the $12 million injunction that was in court this week? He had to go on what he was told in the newspaper, on the media, and lots of times that's misconstrued. But to be in there sitting handed and learning, and they sure in the hell not going to ask Professor Meriwether because that would sure make me look stupid. I'd rather just not ask him anything. I listen to his show, but I won't even comment. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's very strange. I'm not looking for any recognition, but it's awful strange that I'm here every week trying my best to improve the community, make things better for our children. It's just not black, but make it for the poor whites and black, because the whites are just right there with us. They say that they're better, but they right with we in the same boat. If they haven't paid any attention in public education, when they pull the funds, bring the teachers in, and they don't care but just a little iota about you as they do about our kids. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got some serious problem. It's about the elite. It's about the private school kid. You hadn't figured that out? Ladies and gentlemen, come on. So let's just keep moving. If you see me looking down, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to look through these notes and try to get you out of class here. But ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. I have to say it, and we talk about black and white. There are some good white people. There are some bad white people. There are some good black people. There are some bad black people. Ladies and gentlemen, but look here. Let me read this to you. In Pittsburgh, there is a white principal by the name of Linda Wayman at a school at Strawberry Field School, a school that is riddled with violence and people of color that are not interested in getting an education as a whole, and is very disruptive. But this lady went into that school and turned things around. Don't tell me what God can't do and who he can't use. He's using white and black. But ladies and gentlemen, yet we got some lazy whites and some lazy blacks that's not doing a blame thing. But this is what she said each day over the intercom. Remember, if no one told you they love you, I do. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you during my tenure at the school that I was attending, the kids was told daily. Not only did I tell them that I loved them, but they knew it because I shared time with them. I made sure that whatever their needs was, if it was their clothes, if it was needing to go to the doctor, needing eyeglasses, whatever needed me to pray for them, whatever it was, I dealt with the holistic approach. But ladies and gentlemen, this white lady, like many whites, are involved in helping people because they're on a mission for God. I wonder with some of the students in this class who listen to this broadcast, who mission are you on? You don't show up. I don't see you. You won't even take the time to say, Professor Merriweather, what can I do to help you? Where do I need to be this week? What do we need to do? You just one lazy Negro. Won't do anything for yourself and won't do anything for nothing but Mr. Charlie. I'm just bringing you the message of truth. If you don't like it, check yourself out. Ladies and gentlemen, in public education, to our teachers that are in the audience or in the classroom, we need to be worried about transforming lives. That's what we need to be doing. Not trying to form them, but transforming some lives. Ladies and gentlemen, 70% of the black males are not ready for marriage. 70% of black males are not ready for marriage because, ladies and gentlemen, we got to work with them. So they knew when it came to the family. Now you hear white people all the time talking about the family. I want to spend more time with the family. And they act as if family don't mean a damn thing to black people. Well, our family is just as important. But ladies and gentlemen, listen. In my hometown, we had that school that they closed. They had automotive, air conditioning, carpenter, food service. They had all of that. While these clergies and these so-called important people in our community, they may be important themselves, the hell they're not that important, sit there and allow the good old boys to gradually close our vocational program. And they didn't act like that into my why you closing. They was closing it 15 years ago, fool. Where were you then? And closed it because they knew that if those who don't go to college, if we will take away skills from them, they'll rob and they'll steal and they'll shoot each other and they'll end up in prison and we'll get to make money and live on that hill with a white picket fence, a BMW, 2 kids, and a little white poodle. They knew it. It's by design, ladies and gentlemen. You're not crazy, are you? It's by design. And we said nothing. How the hell did they close Whitehall School in my hometown, Washington Douglas, JCM, and we only have 2 more schools left? Lincoln School, dead in the hood, and Arlington, on the edge of the black community. And the plans are, ladies and gentlemen, mark my word, you heard it first here in the class of 503. They're going to close them 2 schools. And ladies and gentlemen, when they close those 2 schools, all of our black youth, our pre-K through 5, will have to get on the bus or our parents have to carry them away from our community to their community. Yeah, they're not for busing. not for busing their children, but they for busing the hell out of your children. And you sitting in church with your hand up, got your Bible on your arm. God want to know when benediction is over. When it's over, what do you do when the benediction? It's not what you do in church. It's what you do when the benediction is done. What are you doing? Going to the mall, buying all them clothes to go to church, and then get out and don't serve nobody but your own self. But you'll bust your butt when them time to elect those politicians to office to do it all over again to you, and then call yourself intelligent. Oh, I can't support Mr. Merriweather. I won't never tell him that I'm with him, and I don't never leave a comment on his show. I don't never text him. I don't never call him. I just see you out. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Merriweather? How the hell are you doing? Not well. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to read this to you, and I want to make sure I get it right because it's coming from a little notes. If you don't treat yourself with respect, often other people will follow your example. One more time. If you don't treat yourself with respect, other people will follow your example. They won't respect you either. And that is what has happened in the black communities, not only in my hometown, but in your hometown. If you don't respect yourself, they'll follow your example. They don't respect you either. They just use you, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, one thing I can do every morning, I can look myself in the mirror, look myself dead in the mirror, and know they not using me, and they never will, because I got 5 senses, they got 5. How in the hell you going to use me when I'm just as smart as you? I'm not inferior to no man. No man do I fear. I'll stand toe-to-toe to enter. I don't care how much you got, how much education you got. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I'm lacking is a PhD degree. You got high school, college, master's degree, doctor's degree. That's it. And I'm next to the top. And I'm just as smart as you. I fear no man. While we're acting like we got so much intelligence, tell me how the hell did this happen? In my hometown, in my home state, I'm reading to this. 3 West Tennessee teachers are among the finalists for Teachers of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, I researched the 3 teachers. The teachers are Carolyn Nanny of McKenzie Elementary, white. Manor Farley. I'm going to spell it to you because my pronunciation may be down. Or it probably is. Fraloy of Northeast Middle School. She white. Stephanie Rice of Crosswind Elementary in Memphis. White. These teachers have the opportunity to serve on the Education Commission with Candy McQueen. That's our Education Commissioner. And they will be on the Teachers Advisory Council for the 2017 and the 2018 year. The council was created to work with groups of expert teachers, to provide feedback and inform the working of the department throughout the school year. These teachers are students' hero, according to Miss McQueen, the education director, the hero. Well, what the hell are we? We sit here and we allow, just insensitivity. I did tell you this class was in black, the subject was black and white. Insensitivity that you're going to have 3 teachers of the year, and not one of them are African American to some. I said black. And ladies and gentlemen, in my hometown, 65% of public education are made up of blacks. You go to Shelby County, black. Bolivar, Tennessee, black. Ladies and gentlemen, and we sit back because Miss Commissioner Queen is white. Whatever she said is just right. And you call yourself intelligent, going to church, wearing all them expensive clothes, and you don't need them all, helping the community. not helping your community, the dollars are going in their community, and you call yourself intelligent. And all I hear, ladies and gentlemen, is at risk. I never believed that our black children are at risk. I was at a meeting and was only black in the room, and we was having lunch, and I told them when they brought up that subject about at risk, I said, everybody's child is at risk, yours too. Boy, them white people put out in the fork. What did you say? I said, there's no such thing as at risk. All kids are at risk. They are just much at risk. If Pookie sell your daughter, Megan, some dope, she at risk of being a dope user or a dope seller. We're all at risk of something. I'm at risk of having a heart attack. I'm at risk of losing my mind. We're all at some kind of risk. All the students in this room is at risk. You better wake up. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe in children at risk. I believe in children at possibility. Every child has a possibility of greatness. We need to instill greatness in all children, not just black children. All children need to be instilled that they are important, they are loved. We need to change our focus in the way we deal with children in public education and all children, all schools, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, the clock on the wall say I've been here way too long, but I just had to bring you this topic in black and white. But ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude with this. I ordered some things from Amazon, and it did not work out right. Maybe it was me and maybe it was a product. I don't know. But I sent it back to them and told them that I was having problems with it. And ladies and gentlemen, when I contacted them, immediately emailed me the postage, the sticker, postage sticker. And ladies and gentlemen, paid for it to be returned. I took it to the post office at 3 o'clock. And ladies and gentlemen, when I looked on my phone, I got a text that at 5 o'clock, 2 hours later, they had refunded my $90 back into my checking account in 2 hours. Customer service. What if our public school system served the public, served those kids, loved those kids, taught those kids, and didn't deal with who the parents were and the zip code they live in? What if that would happen and they would do it? Amazon is one of the largest companies, ladies and gentlemen, multi-billion-dollar company. They know how to treat their customers. They didn't look and say, oh, that's Professor Merriweather, he's black. We'll get his money to him when we get Megan money. They sent it back. Because just like I'm bragging on Amazon, others are bragging on Amazon. And that's why they're doing so well. They know how to treat the customer. Why don't we make sure that the Board of Education, the superintendents, the principals and the teachers and the staff treat all children right, regardless of the area code, of the zip code, excuse me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here, but I want to conclude by reading you this, and then thank you so much for listening to Professor Merriweather this week. Hope you have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week. Sometimes the easiest way to solve a problem is to stop participating in the problem. Sometimes the easiest way to stop solving a problem is stop participating in the problem. You need to quit participating by doing nothing. Did you know that you can participate by not doing nothing? You need to quit participating by doing nothing. That will help solve the problem of public education. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to get busy. You may not like me. You may not like what I'm talking about in class. But God is going to hold us all accountable for what we do for the least of thee. When you look around in hell, you're going to find a whole lot of the clergy, lawyers, doctors, people that was living in those nice neighborhoods, driving those nice cars, because they didn't do God's will. They was more concerned about them and their family and the hell with anybody else. But ladies and gentlemen, I, Professor Merriweather, care about all children, and I have demonstrated that down through the years. And you cannot find anyone in my hometown that say, I'll make a difference based upon your race. But I trust that you'll get serious and listen to some of the things that are going on in this class. I know you don't agree with all things, and I don't expect you to. But you ought to recognize that public education is important and that the majority of you in class are products of public education. But now that you have allowed certain people to blow in your ear, you have turned your back on your own people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Morris Merriweather, a Straight Talk in Room 503, and the host